Heyo, good morning. Or whatever it is, when it's a little early on a Saturday for you. I just got my coffee, so I'm not quite there yet. And as always, having to fiddle with gadgets a bit more before finally transitioning over to the screen to get some shit done. All right. Of course, can't be waking up early without making sure we appropriately stay awake with a little Nintendo metal. All right, transitioning over here. Let's figure out where we were last session. So I'm going to be working on Colligere again today. So I'll go ahead and get in that directory. I'm going to pull down everything. Oops. Get branch set upstream to. What branch I'm on? I don't even know what branch I'm on. Get. Oh yeah, let's just see where we are locally first. Open this sucker up. And go ahead and open up Github. Take a gander at this. I've already said that stupid word too many times today. Don't worry, I'm working on that. Try not to drive you crazy this morning. All right, the build's good. I think we were messing around with this stuff. The Docker stuff, and then it's your issues. Oh yeah. What is running in Docker? And of course, is Docker running? That's always a good question too. So yeah, install that stuff. Why does it keep, Visual Studio keeps forgetting which plugins I seem to have installed and which ones I don't. But I digress. So let's here, do some computation. Oh yeah, we were talking about variables, constants, assigning, not constants, constants, assigning those, pointers, how they work, all that kind of good jazz. Previously also, I put together this configuration where I map it out to a struct, or let it come in and fill itself out to a struct, so I can just work against that instead of always searching for some arbitrary config point. And that's specifically for just the CLI, not the schema that we're going to be working with. And I believe we'll primarily be playing with schema stuff today. I mean, there's the Go SQL bit and the root, which I have to play around with a bit later. And really, it needs pulled out to kind of a plug-in model instead. But anyway, so we got the configuration in there, we got the initial driver and the library added for Go SQL, and we have the config map file. So, what we really need to do is start to figure out how to manage this schema. So do some kind of, this is a story. Oh yeah, so deluge is there. Let's work on creating the schema from this point of view. It's just going to be a JSON file in the schema directory. So let's go ahead and config path equals. I'm going to go ahead and set this to the directory schema which probably could be the home path from the configuration. So we can do that map it off of the home path in the configuration. So if I go back here and look down at our init for this, we can see the home dir right there. So that basically says, give me a home dir. If it errors, it blows up. So I can kind of steal that. I feel like I shouldn't copy and paste it, but let's do that just for a minute, and then we'll abstract that out here in just a second if that doesn't work so hunky-dory. And I've already put it in the wrong place. I don't really need to do that in init. It needs to be in the set. Set called, that is true. And we have a good build. Do we? No, we don't. Imported and not used. Oh yeah, where is that at? Let's clean up from our goofing around here. Those were nice examples, but we need to get back to core functionality in the thing. All right, and let's just print this out to see what we have there. I went command set. Oh, oops. Home. Colligere set unknown command. Unknown command set? What? We have deluge, right? Yeah, which does nothing effectively now. So did we not? Let's go through and check this out. So when you create a command for a Cobra library-based project, you have that pretty much everywhere, but also you have this in the init. Did I just take that out for set? Let's go look. No, it is there. And then, all right, so use set, then in the root. Okay, that should be, where the function execute should be comment or unexported. Oh, got a bunch of problems here. Should be base URI. Struct field base URI should be base URI. It is that. Base URI string. I don't. Not sure what that means exactly. This one says exported type should have comment or be unexported. Finish running to home. Go ahead. Exported type should have comment or be unexported. What a freaking comment. Let's actually look at what that message means. Went to file best price file this letter. I'm not sure how to fix these things. Okay. It's probably a good place to start, including places it links to. Style. Yeah. Can you just answer the question instead of, yeah. Yeah, that's good. D. Simmons. It's useful to remember this kind of feature. I don't know. For example, in this case, you could. So, I guess in Go, comment sentences. See, blah blah blah. Comments documenting declarations should be full sentences, even if that seems a little redundant. So I guess the Go linter actually checks that shit and tells you to write a bloody comment. So whatever. I love being forced to do stuff like that. So what is this? Struct. The Colligere configuration is the core configuration for the Colligere CLI application. How's that? Does that get rid of the stupid message? Oh. That? With optional leading article. Comment on exported Colligere should be of the form Colligere configuration. Oh, like this. Because I guess I'm supposed to state the library specifically. Hey, that fixed it. That seems incredibly specific. So, alright. Central base configuration holds the base URI for the site that manages certain remote configuration and data storage options, like so. Okay, I fixed that. Then I gotta comment this thing too? Or is it just, should be base URI. Struct field base URI should be base URI. That's the, what does that even mean? All right, we're gonna go look that up too. Interesting. I'll look at that page later for sure. Field name should be name Goland. Let's see what I get. Reflect, no. Do that and then check those others. It's a new struct. Struct name age. I feel like I should lowercase those things too, but field ID should be ID. Use of ID rather than ID breaks the rule about abbreviations versus initialisms. Is to match what is normally used in prose. In that sense, identifier is usually written by humans as ID, so therefore it should appear that way in Go names. Right, but stupid. So that based on that, I guess base URI should be, oh, the message is wrong. So it should be that. Right? Yeah, so that fixed it. Base URI. Let's see what the error message is once again. Base URI should be base. Oh, it did. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Sorry, just not that anal retentive about frickin' names, but whatever. So server configuration, I guess, demands a comment. So let's follow that. Configuration. Is set up to hold the name of the particular remote configuration. And I'll add some reference here. Eventually, I suspect this will hold key ways to auth, SSL, SSH, connect to that remote storage option, whatever it may be, right? So it'd be like vault or something like that to hold all those things together. Got distracted by Twitch there for a second. I guess I opened Golang. I didn't really want to do that, but while I'm here, I'll make it update itself. And then it can just close. There we go. All right, so we're down to this many. Okay, exported function execute should have comment or be unexported. Which one? Function. Oh, root. Oh, execute. Derp. Default generated execute. Oh, probably need to do that, don't I? Start with the thing. Execute. Execute usually have on it. Oh, that's what it says. Probably says something dumb like that when I generate it. I'll put something a little more useful. All right, and then CGO read-only file system. What is this? Snap. So it says go code check, GitHub, blah, blah, blah. Go build runtime CGO, open snap, read-only file system. We get a good build still, right? Yeah. Just one more weird warning. Let's comment that just for a second and see. Okay, it takes out that. Add whatever. That's your in root. I don't actually want anything to run, so I'm going to put that. You know, you need to run the subsequent command. Actually, you want to either deluge or you want to create one of the other bits. So this, I'm not really sure what the deal is with that. I do think I know what I'm going to do about it though. Go build runtime CGO read-only file system. It's funny that it shows the error up there at the top. So what I'm going to do is clear out the vendor because I've effectively just nuked Go SQL. I'm not sure what CGO is, but I'm going to need to run. Yeah, I cannot find package, so I need to run det ensure again. Whoops. even going? Oh, I guess it ran. Oh yeah, there it went. Just that terminal's not giving me any updates. Yeah, because if I run that, it should... Okay, well I guess it did that. What? That should be there. Mitchell 8, Homedir. It's... Here, do it all over again then. And nuke these things. Because for some reason, as you see, it's not including Viper for the configuration or Homedir for finding the home path in this. And it can't find Cobra. That's just ridiculous. So let's dep init that sucker again. Alright, there we go. Did it find it? There's Viper. It's finding Viper and Cobra. I have no idea what it thought it was doing. And it was Homedir. So let's save this and... Weird. So let's do a build. See what we get. Okay, so it's just the IDE again, flippantly being disingenuous and not really knowing what its associative properties and principles are to what's back there. Sometimes you just have to build and see if it works. Alright, so we have, however, got rid of basically every problem except these arbitrary false ones. So I'm just going to let that be for now. And let's actually go out here and do Golang create JSON file and see what we find. Write struct to JSON file using struct fields, not JSON key. Properly create a JSON file and read from it. Go by example JSON. Actually, let's look at this parsing. Is this a good thing for what we're trying to do? So they got all this stuff. JSON file for parsing. I don't really want to parse it. I just want to... Oh yeah, so they're parsing it, but we'll just... Where are the docs? Golang JSON create file. Here we go. Writing files, go by example JSON. That's probably what we want. It's those two docs. That looks groovy. What's this say? So this says create a struct with 3 string arrays in it. Then let's see here, create an instance, loop through it. Well, that just creates dummy data. Okay, and then print out the JSON neatly to demonstrate. All right. That's neat. Let's go over here. Writing files. All right, we're going to look at writing files first. We're going to do all this stuff pretty much manually, I believe. Haha, this is going to be fun. So first off, we'll probably need these bits, but I'm going to let the IDE figure that out as we go. Ooh, yeah, we'll definitely do a check. Actually, let's go with create. Call it create. Colligere. Help. What is wrong with my freaking command? Oh, config, deluge, and help. Oh, that's because it's... Forgot how this thing works. Come up here. Clear. There you go. Now you can see it. Colligere, config, set. Set called. There's the path. So, Oh, that needs flipped around. So let's go back here and we'll do this. Oops. Schema path. Actually, we'll name it more accurately, folder. There we go. I don't think I need that. I don't know if I need that either. There we go. Whoops. Schema folder. Okay, now we're dealing with variables. And if we build that, and then run Colligere, config, set. All right, now we have the, I do need a appropriate slash in there. So I'm gonna move that down here. Actually, let's go to root. Config path is a string, like so. And we'll go down to the init here to set this sucker up. Right now I'm just gonna go with a configuration-based, or a config-based, convention-based config value and not put in anything yet. Eventually, this is something that would definitely be in the configuration file, and I'll probably add it to the configuration file. But right now, it's just gonna be right here. So the config path, is that what I named it? Config path equals that. Oh, and of course, not here. Let's put it. So you're config. Yeah, okay. And this. Boom. And since I'm doing it one time here and connecting it, that's really what it should be. There we go. That's good. So note what I'm doing basically is in the initialization for the configuration, I'm setting this as if it's actually in the configuration, but I'm just setting it by convention, so it's always going to be home path plus the schema. So then I have that in set, and it's printing out right here. This bit doesn't need to be here now, so I've already reduced some code. Woohoo! And then this ought to be over here in create to, because what we'll do now is we're going to basically do the CRUD around the files. So we create call, go build, Colligere, config, create, right? Boom, create called. So now what we want to do is actually get a file going on here. Let's create a little func for, come on, there we go. Just to have a check, like in that example code. So we'll do error, basically copy it, if error is not nil, and panic, and pass in that error. All right, so now we have this little helper func to do that stuff instead of writing it every bloody where all over the freaking code base. And then let's here start, dump a bunch of strings like this. Defer.close to, okay, let's go through this step by step. So we start with, we have our config path there, but we start by creating byte string. Okay, so it says hello, go, and has new lines in it, whatever. So this would be our new database schema, I.E where the JSON would go. And then this is actually going to be the config path plus whatever the think we need that, and then file name dot JSON, right? And then D1 is that byte string. And I had to look this up, write file 644. So it says, does it mention anything about that? Idiomatic to defer or close immediately after opening file. Right, so, there we go. So this creates the byte stream, sets this up in error trap, and runs the check for that. Then we can create the file. It says dat2 already. Why dat2? Oh, well, okay, so that says write file to the config path. Okay, let's just see what that much of it does. So we'll do go build, see where we get. All right, and note, let's see here, what do we get? We got io.ioutil added up here. So that's one of the system libraries. Now if I run Colligere, setup, create, unknown, oh, just wrote the wrong shit again. Config, create. All right, I'm getting blown up error. Execute C, execute command. So that's something in here. SP13 command execute, something. Oh, I have no idea what the hell just happened actually. Create command. Go routine running. No such file or directory. Had to scroll up to see that sucker. Alright, so we need to make sure that the config path, let's actually add that file name too. So we'll say schema file, and we'll just call it file name. Actually, we'll call it schema file.json. We'll go over here, get rid of that, and then make it easy to add it, like so. All right. Now that doesn't theoretically exist, so it says. And I should put this together beforehand, actually, because we need to test it first. Path and file. There we go. That's your Golang. If file doesn't exist, create. So it says you can write byte slices as you'd expect, close immediately after. Write string is also available to issue a sync. So it doesn't really mention it is. All right, so that does some basic stuff. That's just marshalling stuff. So let's create an empty text file. There you go. We'll need to probably do a make dir, and I know there's a make dir all, I believe is one of the things. Ensure public, okay. There we go, that's what we want to do. We want to do, boom. All right, so let's do a check. So if error stat, oh yeah, this pulls the status of a path. So this is the path. So should I just, yeah, we'll need to check the path first. Schema file is not exist. That doesn't, it sounds like bad English. All right, so os.make dir all I believe is what I actually want. So we'll do schema config path. Oh yeah. Dot mode, which is I don't know, 7. That's not what it is. It's not 777. Let's try 644. So that's the read-write mode. So if you have root permissions or whatever you need added to it, like if you're creating a file that needs to be executable, like a script file, you would set the mode here. Something that's not exactly described all that well, I've seen in the docs. It assumes that you know what Unix permissions are. So if you don't know what Unix permissions are, you're kind of left out in the cold when you read those docs. It's one of the things I always feel like should be described in things when there's a tertiary, peripheral, systemic thing you need to understand. But anyway, it's not there. Maybe I'll submit a pull request to the docs. Hey, hey, hey. Attempt to create the directory. So one of the things I want to do now that I've done that, does it just let you do? What did I delete over here? Oh yeah, deleted. Path and file. There we go. Oh, and I got some promises. Undefined mode, that is correct. So actually, let's take this. And we're going to go back to the root. And just make sure that the config path is even there. So if we do this here, see what it say. Attempt to create the directory and ignore any issues. So I could do just clean, but I might want to. I want to throw an error in that particular situation. All right, so config path and mode should be. We'll go with 644. Mode, permissions, Unix, folder, create. Let's see if we can get these. I just want the number. Now we'll look at this, see what we get. chmod. Oh, here we go. So if it's 644, it's read, write, read, read, right? I think is what that means. Yeah, so this one, stat C file. Something like this. That's like character. Anyway, this is something important to know, which I completely space on all the time. I kind of know it, but I always have to look it up. Even though I've set these things a million times, I really ought to set them to memory. Here's an example of like, you're setting chmod 701 for a public HTML file, etc. So, and of course, if you've been in the Windows world, this is super foreign. Whereas you right-click on that crap and then you give these permissions that aren't even as fine-grained as this, or at least they traditionally haven't been. I haven't touched Windows in like 3 or 4 years, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to go with 664. That sounds good. I'm going to put that with files I should write more stuff about, just for context. Okay, so if we go back over here, 644, we're going to go with that. And then we're going to go build this thing again. Clear, go build. Undefined mode. Oh, did I? Oh yeah, I left all that junk all over the place. So, okay. Theoretically, that should be clear. Let's go build now. Alrighty. Colligere, config, and create. Permission denied. Panic. Oh yeah, I just wanted to do Colligere. So actually, let's rename this Schema samples for the project. But then, yeah, okay, so clear Colligere, config, create. Schema file, permission denied. Right. Damn it. But did it even create the directory? Is the question. Let's see if that works. Go build. No. Oh, that didn't even. That's what it is. Fix that little completely unrelated minor issue. All right, so what am I doing here? I got format dot print out this sucker. Do config path. Just want to make sure. Oh. Oh yeah, it's definitely not going to do it in here. So where is... Oh, there's schema. Oh yeah. Oh, screw off and give me my directory. Config path. Yeah, that's definitely not going to have... It's not a good permission state. Maybe config path should not be that. Lols, imagine. Well, let's set permissions on it actually. Golang create path with permissions. Do I need to switch it to that? That might be what I need to do. All right, deleted that sucker. Oh, I didn't put it back. Does it need the 0? That's super strange. So if I put 644 back. That's right. Let's change it to just this then. Okay, that created the directory in the right place, but also not with the right permissions still. Or it created it in the project directory, whatever. So if I go look here, and source, GitHub, Thrashing Code, Colligere. So here's Schema, it just created that with the wrong frickin' permissions, as you can see. So no list, create, delete, no access. Well, clearly I need to do this with, let's try this 777. I thought that was going to give read, write, read, read. That's what that doc said. But clearly the doc isn't frickin' right. All right. Man, if this keeps up this way, I'm gonna have to add a an adult reference, because I'm about to just start cursing like crazy. What's this? I wanted that where it was. Damn it. Whatever. Boom. Fiddlin'. All right, mofo. See, I don't even have a good warning list or anything. So let's see if that. No. All right, move to trash. There we go. Go build. Colligere, config, create. There we go. Now it's now it's freaking locked. Yes. Okay. Damn it. Unix create folder mode. Linux and Unix make dir command tutorials with examples. All right, how to create a directory and give permissions in single command. Yeah, that's what I want to basically do. Make dir that thing. Directory will be created with read, write, and execute permissions for the user. 755. Let's go with that. See if that works. Clearly, as you can see, I should memorize these damn things. wonder if it's saying permission denied because it just the file simply doesn't exist. Whoops. Ah, still locked. Goddamn thing. So let's hear. Let's just do it this way. Golang ch chmod. Read access fatal error. Data da da da. I know there's a What does this say? So it says, oh, I could use these. Mode append, mode dir. It's a directory. What? So there's a constant that I could actually use. Set up your car. Set IG name device. Append only is a directory. Mode dir. I just say mode dir. No, it doesn't like that. So it needs to be like that. Maybe. Go build. Holy shit. Alright. So lesson learned, don't put the numbers in because I don't know what that does. Mode perm file mod 777. So this is a usually important bit. File modes. Oh. Put that in my, let's make a tertiary file notes. File modes for Go folder creation. And over here was a list of file permissions. By ref, letter, and number. Put that on the desktop. Notes. Whoops. Notes from session. Put it in Markdown. Not that I know if it needs to be Markdown, but it is now. Ha! So I'm going to delete that, move it to trash. Folder doesn't update so good. All right, let's get back in here. All right, so even though this is an init config, oh, it doesn't actually run when this thing runs. So I actually am going to put this in create. So we'll take that out of here, and we're going to go back over to here, notes from today's session. Oh, here we go. Thrashing code session. Create. So basically I want to check anytime I'm working with any of this stuff, I want to check to make sure that the file exists or is created or is going to be created or whatever. So on create, let's see here. We need to say if does not exist, make the directory. Then should I do this? Let's check. Error. And then this stuff. So I got config path. Path and file put together. Okay. Okay, assign schema file to this, which should probably be something passed in. We'll fiddle with that in a minute. What's this bitching about? Undefined error. Whatever. Then undefined error is error. Oh, the endlessness of this nonsense. Okay, so anyway, all right, we got config path, which is this. I need to print it out twice. So schema file, it's going to go in the schema directory. Schema path is here. Path and file. In config path, I want it to be local to wherever I'm at, or wherever the command is at. So keep all this stuff kind of wrapped up, rolled together. Okay, that's working. New database schema. Oh, and this should be, I wonder if I can do os.mode pin, file mode, like that. Let's see what we get. I guess, yeah, if it exists, it's not going to do it, right? Oh, we'll find out. So, Colligere, config, create. Permission denied. It did create the directory, however. Oops. Do this. And go in here, source, Github, Thrashing Code, Colligere, and there's a directory. Oh, it's got all types of fucked up permissions now. Oh, there we go. Now the thread's rated R. Woohoo! What is all this? Oh, this is some good stuff. Golang chmod. Folder. Opening file, if the open file is there, string will be self-explanatory, like the message file directory, right? Okay. Oh. So you can it's only one deep, so maybe I can do func name. I was going to say that should fuss about everything there. Name, so we want to get Golang get user name, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, exactly. current. Weird. So by group, current returns the current user. So no. Okay. Let's just see what it is. User equals port OS user OS dot that's current. Can't type for nothing. Current. Oh, okay. Looks way better. ID. Environment pseudo user. This is honestly some kind of crazy shit here. UID. Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna run that. Go run. Here, don't try to create it. Or this for the moment. Ah, I did not do that, did I? Oops. What is the damn dilemma here? All right, yes. Shut it all down. God damn it. There we go. Adron 1000 is my UID. My GID. Okay. So let's see if I can do that now. So I'll need config path. So I hadn't used that library in Go yet. Lessons learned. type int. Oh, okay. So what is it? String convert dot string to int, something like that. Damn it. Back to the docs. It's your string to int Goland. Parse int. Strings to values, yeah, parse int. Parse int. Parse int. Your gid. Okay. Let's actually take those. We'll do this. We'll do UID equals string convert dot parse int user dot gid. And then, what was it? We need to set the (64-bit). Does it need to be 64-bit? I don't think it needs to be 64-bit. We'll do, I don't know, 6 and 32. And we'll do, and it might even request a particular size one here, but we'll figure it out in a minute. This is going to be some crazy refactoring in a minute. UID, this is going to be gid. What is this bitching about? Multiple value and string value, UID string connect. Oh yeah. And whatever. Whatever, right? Isn't that what it is? Yeah, I need an error. Check error. Check error. Alright, whatever. And then we'll go back over here. Let's get these suckers in here correctly now. So we'll just say UID, gid, save it, and now what's it fussing about? Cannot use gid type 64 as type int and argument to OS chown. So this is something that definitely could use its own article. So here we go, name. Oh, what UID is what? Oh. Chown changes the numeric user ID and gid of the named file. If the file is a symbolic link, it changes the UID and the gid of the link's target. From Windows, plan 9, chown always returns the syscall eWindows eplan9 error wrapped in path error. Oh, so it'll break the damn Windows code? Oh, Windows, you're such a trash fire. And yes, I said pyre, not fire, same thing, but in a sense, you know, something's on fire. If the file is a symbolic link, it changes the UID and gid of the link's target. A UID or gid of -1 means not change that value. Oh, I think I'm heading down the wrong damn path. Create Golang, create folder with read, write permissions. Use the octal notation. Okay, let's just go back to this comment. This is fun. I'll go back to that in a minute. All right. Moder, whatever. Boom. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Did I get? Yeah, that works. All right, clear. Oh, what did it say? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, it didn't say nothing. Okay. Colligere config create schema called. Okay, created it. But what's my crazy ass permissions now? Let's actually move that to the trash. Delete. What? Oh, I don't have permissions to read it. Whatever. That's a bunch of bullshit. Move trash? Delete? No? Okay. You wanna play that game, huh? Boom. There. I said go away, and I meant it. Oh my god, look, a regular folder. Okay. Whew. So now, let's see if we can get this to happen. Whoops. Left out the path and file. Need the schema file. All right, so we have schema created with a schema file. Oh my god. Why is it not open? E access something something. Permission denied. All right, so now the file doesn't have permission to be open. Oh, is it because I'm not deferring close? Let's go back there and take a look at that. Oh, this is the most useful thing ever. I'm putting that in my notes. Excellent little permissions map written in ASCII. Yay. Oh wait, so let's do this, list, schema, list, clear, and then that's that. So I'm gonna just open that up in code and see if this account will open it. No, it won't do it either. Okay. Did I say that? Air trash. Oh yeah, it deletes it. I just can't read it, I guess. Laws. So if that happens, then I can go os.chmod name of file. So it's the path and file, and it's file mode. So os dot mode pin. Oh, file mode dot permanent string is dir. Chmod changes the mode of the name file to mode. If the file is symbolically changes the mode of the start. Okay, yeah. That's the directory name. There's Unix permission primer. This is the best freaking answer ever. I'm reading it up. Oh, I'm not even logged in. Oh, I'll do it later. Good job, Shannon, wherever you're at. When it's permissions calculator. They've obviously worked with that before. Let's actually do this too. So Golang create file with read write permission. Create os.ocreate. What? Oh yeah. Actually, let's do this. Let's go 755. There, the octal. I dissed the octal a little earlier, and now I'm going to end up saying use it everywhere probably. All right. How are we looking now? Okay, there we go. We have the file. That was the longest file creation in the history of mankind. So now we can get the JSON working in there. So, all right. Quick little break here. I'm going to take a bio break and leave this cool video playing here for you. So, be back in 8 minutes and 9 seconds. You're always on, yeah.
Is it on?
Yeah, I guess they have coffee.
Yeah, they actually coffee break.
Who?
Nuri and...
Oh, okay. I was confused. I thought we already... I thought that was already...
It's live filming and the other half.
That's great to see.
I have like a whole 20-something minute. This is express one. You know where they got those?
Got what?
These trains.
Huh.
Chicago.
Really?
Yeah. There's the ones I got from LA.
One cannot anticipate, distribute your power
And then you degrade the system because that's how they make money, to keep the system upgraded.
Well, and also,
Like, I'm actually a fan of keeping the system in place, because America's a prime example of destroying a system because they're like, oh, this new thing, everybody will love it and everybody will want to do it, and then we have it and we're like, shit, it's broken really bad. For instance, trying to impose auto dependency on everything, like, doesn't work in a city. You can't do it in New York City. They tried to do that and it broke New York City.
Yeah.
Right? So, but on the flip of that, we can't go back. We tore up all the old stuff, and now, like, where cities try to put it back, it's like
some of the cities
50 times the cost.
Was it like Philly or Boston or someone like there in the Northeast? They've been doing this. I think this is the way to go. They've been setting up these micro siloed. Where they're calling them, I forget, they have a name for it, but they're mini power stations that are wind, solar, whatever they can do, and they power a local area. And one of those, you know, like they're still hooked up to the main grid, but they are responsible for powering the local area. They're like a little substation.
Yeah.
But then they're all renewables, right?
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
then that takes some of the load off of the major grid, but then it will allow it. So if the major grid goes down, that little one, as long as it's still going, it'll power the local area.
Right.
I think that.
Can we come in? That's the code word.
Hi, that was, totally random.
Yeah. Hi.
It's 11 o'clock. I thought getting into, are you recording video? Because you've been quiet. There's been no shutter this whole time.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep.
Here we go. This is why we keep her around. Not because she's incredibly talented. It's because she makes noise.
Yeah, but you keep all
I scare
that.
you guys.
You will do the bloopers.
I've been walking around recording everybody today.
Just getting all in their business.
That's right. Protections.
GDPR.
Just up in everything.
How you doing?
Yo, bring it.
I haven't seen you in so long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you. Everyone, right?
Technically.
But as I told you, I'm like a US citizen now. I can cross the airport. Boom.
Really?
Boom.
Do you have
Just
like visa?
my paper, ESTA.
Really?
And as I'm returning the third time, I can go to the queue with US citizen. Just show my passport, get stamped, and boom, I'm out.
Nice.
Yeah, only maybe.
You need to figure out how to do that for France, because I can't get in. I thought getting.
And you take the train. You just take the train down. And you can the last train. None of us did,
Hey, David. Oh, wait. Ha! Did that work? Everybody look at me. Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Got a lot of planning done, and David's making faces at me right here where you can't see it.
Your address. Jeff and Cedric are hiding out over there across
On another train, because that's how we roll in California.
nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me relax.
At least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to geico.com.
I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico for renter's insurance.
Alright, we're back. Sorry, I showed you guys a fucking ad too. That's horrible. That's catastrophically horrible. I apologize sincerely. Alright. Where were we? Oh, Banksy. Love it. So looks like Brendan and I are coding. And Fritz. Or no, maybe not. I don't know. Alright, enough putzing around. Back to the game here. So what we have is checks for determines the directory. We also have a bit of UID around user and stuff like that. Which, speaking of, let's talk about that for a minute here. We're gonna go back out to Thrashing Code here, clear, and let's actually do something with that and just create a little sample app. That's what we're gonna do. Let's close my file here. I actually want to have that one open. Oh, that's weird. So open file, desktop, notes from session. I want that one open. So 132, 33 is where I'm at. All right, now I'm going to use Goland on this one. And we're going to create a little app that just pulls some information and everything out of the user object and take a look at what that is. And then do some little folder and file creation. All right, we don't want this project. We want to do a new project. New project using Go 111, index entire Go path, blah, blah, blah. That sounds great. And we want to put this over here in, oops. Where is, oh, oh, I have like 500,000 billion paths and stuff. So GitHub, Thrashing Code, there it is. Oh, I don't have my directory here, so we'll just add me. It'll work. Specify path not found. All right, so make the specify path. Make dir adron. There we go. All right, and then create. It's not. No. No, 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 no. What the frick are you doing? Okay, close project. Let's do new project. entire path. I don't want this path. I want the source, GitHub, adron. There we go. That's the location I want it in. Okay, there we go. That's better. And oops, like that. Let's go with a new file. Go file, go with main. Simple application. Boom. All right. And we had a bunch of stuff open over here. This doc is for package OS. Fiddle with that in a minute. Let's see here. The thing we want to look at though is not that one, not that, not that. All right, we'll take a look at that here in just a second too. So, all right. Had a little interruption there. Oops. So here we're going to take, let's see if we can just get the user object. Go with current user, user.current, like so. Okay, pulled it in. Nice job, Goland. Now, ah, shit, spilled stuff on my keyboard. Or, well, specifically, I spilt my damn coffee on the keyboard. Okay. Yeah, so we want to do format, print line, current user dot, we're going to do name, and then look at some of this other stuff. Name, UID, id, let's see here, home dir, that's good. Format.println, current user dot, what else do we got? There's name and then username. Group IDs, that's going to print out a string. I don't know how that'll actually print out, but let's take a look at it. Let's do this and then go build. And we want to build, actually we will do just the file, because we're just running main.go. Everything looks good. Environment variables, not a big deal. All right, okay. Whoops, let's name it though. Run main.go. And what's it? File is invalid. Am I not running that file? Am I running not that file? What? Oh, don't run both the files. Just run, yeah, okay. Flaky ass thing. There we go. I just want to run one file like that. So now I can run that. I didn't debug it, note, I just did it run. Go build time, CGO read-only file. Let's do a build and debug. Multiple value user.current in sync. Oh yeah. Oops. Let's do the error. And then we'll do if error is not nil, what's that little check thing that did? Whoops. Golang check E. Find that out on the web. Yeah, if error is not nil, my syntax is crappy. Log.fatal, I don't know if I want to do log. What else does it say here? Do return. Yeah, I'll look at that later. So anyway, okay, it added log. Then let's use one of Goland's refactoring tools here. We'll say extract a method. Obviously this is not a method, it's a function. I think that's important to note. But you know, you get the idea what it does. The extract method actually will pull certain code out and make a function out of it. And just like if I did this, right click, refactor, extract that, pull out a method, it would do that and see it pulls and makes a pointer to user.user, or whoa, that's weird. User.user. Yeah, okay, that's workable. And then you can see here where it's passed in and then refed here. So let's see where we get now. There we go. All right. So I'm user adron with a UID and a GUID, or git UID and GID of 1000. Home directory is home/adron. Username is adron. And notice adron is capitalized, so like that could be, you know, Adron Hall or something. And then this is the group IDs that I'm in on the system. And let's see here, format, print, or actually let's look at current user dot, what else we got here? Anything? That looks like the main things. So if I did username, I wonder if I could do use Golang, set system username. Now I want to get it, I want to set it. There's get a name, says struct name, Oh, look at this Golang code. This site's starting to be my favorite. Pseudo user, real user. Under mode, okay. Anyway, this is a great little thing here. Check this out and see what we get actually. And a pull in, so that's OS. All right. Oops. Let's do print line, environment variable. I don't really know what environment variables I have, but get, since we're setting up an example here, this is get environment. Oh, there's get GID. Get environment. Let's say, I don't know, new value variable. All right. So that one I know is not there, but we'll take a look at setting it. Everything. So we'll run that, debug, and that gives an empty environment variable, and the real user, pseudo user, doesn't exist. So actually, let's take a look at that. we'll open up this, and then what's it? Bash RC on this machine is where my environment variables would be loaded. So I'm going to say, actually, create command line launcher to make sure that Goland is available, because I'm going to use that as the thing to open this stuff. So bash RC, there we go. So this is what is in the bash RC file. Let's see what I got in here. Oh, I got the old DataStax enterprise environment variables that I had set, my go path. Oh, that's a perfect one to print out. Then let's just add another one, export. So I'm going to change this to that, and I'll just say go path is their environment variable, this giant thing. Oops. There we go, equals the new value. So close that, and then we will run this again, see what we get. All right, go path is that. Now note something here. So we'll open that back up. So this is the go path, home codes, okay? Now if I go over here and we run this again, what do I get? I get home adron codes. So it looks like it is pulling it up. Environment variable is not loaded yet though, because I still need to source the bash RC file. Now let's see if it picks it up. Still does not get the new variable. All right, in that case, let's actually, okay, the environment variables are not set here, right? But this, the go path in Goland is actually set over here in, let's see, where is it? Go path. It's set here. So if I actually change this, or change the other one in my bash RC, if I change the bash RC one, Goland won't pick it up. I would have to set it in here. So on that note, those are kind of considered like system variables in this context. But if I go over here and edit this, and let's go in here and change this and add the, whatever it was, the special variable. And then we'll just call it new string variable. Oops. Environment variable. Like that, apply it, okay. I'm gonna actually change that to that. Now let's run it. And we'll see, boom. That's assigned and this is assigned. So, unlike most IDEs, remember, Jetbrains IDEs always run their environment variables in their own sessions. I drive that home because it made me spend a lot of time figuring out what the hell they were doing one day. All right, so we got that figured out, some Go environments, some user stuff collected off of that object. Let's actually, what should we do now? We should take, let's do this one. Check if a file exists. So this is going to be the values, let's call it collected values.txt. We'll just call it .text for now, but we're going to trip around with that. It says file does not exist, file exists, is not exist. So if it does not exist, we want to create it. If it exists, we'll do that. So let's run that and we'll see what it says. Which file does not exist. That is correcto. What else has he got here? This is, or this site, whatever. Edd Turtle. You got a good site here. I like it. Handle, file, progress reports. That's pretty slick. Temp file. Yeah, I don't want to create a temp file. let's create Golang, create text file. There's some stuff. Back to this again. So I might actually create this, or pull this in. If it doesn't exist, we'll create the file name. It's not a string, it's actually a variable. This is our content. Woohoo! I'm gonna actually rename this to something useful. File, text file, content. So there we go. It's the content, the file name that it will put the content in, and the permissions. So then over here we'll want to append. We'll get to that. So let's see what we get if we just run that. The file does not exist, but he created it. Woohoo! This is our content. So let's take this, file does not exist, say creating file. There we go. Do we even need any byte content initially? I don't know. But that is the situation there. Created file. All right. So then over here, if the file exists, let's see here. Oh yeah, we want to defer close. More granular lights, right? So let's create, check to, write, open, send it open. It says write file, right here. Close immediately after opening a file. So this one, I guess we're writing the file, so we're opening the file technically. So I need to do that. But so in this situation, there's just error. So that just writes it, and then it's a little confusing there. Close. All right, so that's good practice, I guess. Let's see if it'll open this one. So we want to open up file name again. And okay, so it opens it. And then we have jump to write. We might want to say, that should be right. And here, note we keep this closed, as that's, as mentioned in the docs, it's idiomatic to write that there, or to put that there. Wrote blank bytes, da da da. So let's see what that actually does. We're going to delete it though, so it'll actually execute that line of logic. File already closed. Well, fiddlesticks. Oh wait, it says, whoops, how did I lose my defer? Defer needs to be in front of that. So then it'll close when it's actually done in the code here. So it recreated that. So let's delete, okay, run debug. Wrote 5 bytes. So what do we have? We have some. That's the worst bloody message ever. So this creates the file with this content. So really, I guess I could just do, what happens if I put nothing in it? I guess I had to put something. So empty string. Then this opens and writes these arbitrary freaking bytes, which is a byte array. Wrote blank bytes. So that's kind of boring. So boom, run that again. All right, wrote the 5 bytes. Said sum. All right, so let's do this. this could also be in its own function. We'll extract that to a method and say append file contents, right? Like so. So now that the file is created, I'm going to come down here and say file exists, pending contents. And we're going to go look at it down here and run that. So file exists, appending contents, we have that path, and it just says some still. So it's not really appending. Let's figure that out then. So write string, byte, buff IO, in addition to buffer readers as we saw. Use flush to ensure all buffered operations have been applied to the underlying writer. Let's see what we get when we say Golang append to file. Append to a file on Go. Yay, Stack Overflow. So we want to do an open file, actually. And that'll be file name. That's cool, okay. And then we'll do this and take away that, refactor it a little bit for ourselves. There we go. Okay. So OS open file pulls into OS library, core lib from Go. All right, here we go. Clear that out. Oh, geez. Is that what it needs to be? A pin only, okay. ref.close, okay, we got that. MS22 will get permissions. Whoops, text. Where, let's see, your text is going to be a string, like so. And then up here we'll say file existed, wait, file didn't exist, created, and append this, or add it to that really. And then this is going to be file existed, adding these contents. And honestly, we don't need this because we can just look in the file and see what we're doing. Knock that out. All right. I'm gonna put file created into there. And let's see here. Delete this. This content we'll never see, but for right now, that's what I'm going with. Run that. All right, so we have a file that says file created, file didn't exist, created, and append this. So now we do see this because of the appending. So that's a good thing, right? Let's throw in a new line. See if we can get all the context here. All right. So run that again. And it should say file didn't exist, created, and append this file. And then file existed, adding these contents. It didn't put in the new line character though. So let's actually wipe this file out. Boom. And then we'll run it. Then we'll run it again and again. So we should have 2 of those messages, right? Yep, and the new line is there. So it looks like it built and did everything this time. So file created, that's when the file is initially created. And then it says it didn't exist because it's still in that part of the if-then structure. And it appended that sentence to it, and then it appends the file existed, adding these contents the subsequent 2 times that I ran it. So that was 3 builds thus. All right. So we got a cool little bit here. Now what do we want to do? We want to so created contents. All right, where are we at here? Where is my note? We're at 2 hours 14. So we just did the, I'm gonna start doing this. This is a good way to just do it in session. And then when I can break this stuff out for anybody watching post facto. So added, so you worked through the user object and did some initial file creation, appending, etc. Right? So let's look at something else now. Let's go here. Let's actually add a new, I don't want to add a new file. We'll keep writing in this one for now. We're going to comment out all this stuff, or actually just blow it away for now. Don't really need it there. Oops. Or should I? Maybe we'll write some of that stuff. Actually, yeah, we'll write some of that stuff. And what I'm going to do is I want to get into some JSON here. So that stuff prints out all fine and dandy. We're going to make a mess and actually add some JSON stuff right here. So, handling JSON in Golang. Golang, JSON. So there's a lot of marshalling and unmarshalling of stuff whenever we use JSON in Go. And I'm just going to pull this up, make it a little bit bigger. Examples. No, it's... Oh, that's some weird formatting. Oh, is it broken? Let's... map. Is JSON. Just go by example. Let's see this blog entry. See, that's pretty good. Go by JSON, eager blog. JSON by example. Okay, that's the general docs, which is moderately useful. This is pretty good. Go by example stuff. This one, what does it look? String, structured data. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Just want to give some shout outs to these people that have written good blog entries on the material. In-depth tutorial, basic types. Oh, this is where we run into some interesting type concerns and such again. JSON to struct. Yeah, all right. Let's go step through this sucker. Just get started with some basic stuff. All right, so we're gonna grab these 2 types. Let's see, it says int string, fruit string, and then it has these bits over here to decorate the JSON object. It more closely maps the JSON object to the thing. All right, let's put types up here. So type, we're gonna do, let's see here, user JSON, or let's just say user information. And we'll say say user information 2. Actually, we'll do this 2, and this will be test, just so you can see. And then we'll have, let's see here. Okay, we'll have username, which will be string, and then we'll have user ID, which, whoops, which will be int, I think it is. So we'll go with int 64, and then we'll go with whatever's next here. Gid user. What does Gid stand for? Oh, did I manage to close like all the... there we go. Okay. Golang user gid. What does it stand for? Group ID or something? Yeah, group ID. Group ID. That's int 64. And homedir. Homedir is a string. And then we got, there's name and then username. So we need to do this string. Let's go with name. And then group IDs. Group IDs. It's going to be an array of something. What does it say? Group IDs. Okay, an array of string. So I'm going to make that array of string like that. All right. Then we're going to take these. We're going to do this and say, oops, JSON something like this. You'll see what that's for in just a minute here. All right. This will be name. This will be user ID. This will be group ID. This will be homedir. This will be username. And this will be group IDs. All right, we want to, let's write the go path and the environment variable. So go path, string. The other thing is a crazy thing, right? What did I call it? Oh yeah, it's your new string environment variable. Go path, and this will be JSON new string environment variable. Actually, let's just call it env var. There we go. That's more fun. Let's scroll down here. I don't want to actually print out much of any of it anymore, I don't think. Well, we'll look at that in a minute. So we'll take a look at the first thing. It's your we want to do these few bits. Print string B. Okay, this is basic types encoding. All right, let's take a look at that. I'm just going to comment this. put this in. All right, and let's take a look at what this actually does before we start to actually do this encoding ourselves. So if we run it, there we go. So this first value is a bool. It's marshaled and prints out as true. Gopher prints out as a string, which will give it the little quotes, and then 234 and 1. And one way you can think of this is whenever you've seen it marshaled, that's basically what would be in the value side of the key value pair within the JSON element. All right. So that's all fine and dandy. Let's take a look at the other part of this doc and get to something. So this says apple and lettuce, and then marshal map D and print it out. Okay, so that's just, it's just adding what a string array would look like. So if we take a look at that, this would be similar to what I'm going to put in here with the group IDs. Okay, it's going to be a string list of IDs, and you'll notice it puts it into JSON format with apple, peach, and pear here being comma separated inside of straight brackets. And then with this one, I guess it's basically doing the same thing. Oh, it's doing a map of it. Okay, so that's pretty useful too. We should look at that real quick. There we go. So that puts it in braces. So this is like individual elements, an individual element list within the JSON object. So these are all extremely important characteristics to know about how it's going to map stuff out per whatever it's marshalling. Oops. And then let's see here. All right, so then it wants to, okay, it's going to assign these things into marshal, but we're going to convert it for what we're trying to do here. So each of its structs, as in this example, is page and fruits, right? And here it has these references. So in this, it's going to take response 1 to it, and then response 2 into it. So we're going to take this, look at how it works. It says response 1, ours is user information test. So point at that struct, and then in that we have all of our values, which are, God only knows a whole bunch of them, right? So we're going to do that, boom. And then let's hear name, user group ID, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll get, as you can see, IntelliSense around that. Let's see, so name, let's actually go in the order. I'm going to take that down here and put it in as comments just for a moment. So we'll do name, user ID 1. I'm just giving it values for now. This is actually going to need to be a string like this, and then group ID. It's not IDs yet, so this would be 2. There we go. And then home dir is some path, and then we'll go username Frank, you know, something like that. Then let's hear, now we got group IDs, and that needs to be, how should we do group IDs? It should be something like this. Oops. There we go. And then group IDs, go path, again, will be somewhere here. And then the new string environment variable. Oops. Whatevs. There we go. So now let's look at actually filling out all these appropriately. It says res1, D, and it'll print them all out. Okay. So what we want to actually do is use the object that we have, right? So this is just changes to current user.name. This is current user dot UID, current user dot GID. And this is going to be current user dot homedir. Username, group IDs, current user dot group IDs, current user, oops, not that. It is os dot get environment go path. And then this is os dot get environment, the new string environment variable. All right, there we go. Let's run that sucker. Cannot use current user ID as type int64 in field value. Type string. Do what? Oh, are these? Oh, that's right. It returns them as strings. I completely spaced on that. Oh, but you know what? Int. Let's just go with int. And we're going to use the string converter in there to actually have it be a real int. Because they are ints. They're not strings, really. At least I've never seen any return that way. And then this says what? Group. Oh, probably don't need that. Type func string error. Oh, okay, so I need to do, before we do that, we need to actually get the result. So group IDs equal this, and then we'll do an error and then check for that error. All right, now group IDs can be assigned to group IDs. So these two things need to be set up. So you can consider this as our ETL, or our munging of data, cleanup of the data from a database or something like that. So we'll do user ID equals current user ID, but we'll do string convert dot parse ints this. I'll do 6. Then I don't know, freaking 8-bit. It's not that freaking big, is it? Well, actually, we'll do 64, like I originally wanted to do. Ah, that's funny. Is there something else in there? And of course, check, and then group, ID, equals string, convert dot parse int, there we go, current user dot GID, 6, I think it was just 4 actually, but whatever. I'm just doing some crazy stuff here to show out the example. Yeah, post facto. Thanks for joining, Griffin. I'm not talking to myself any longer. That's awesome. Alrighty. So I now have user ID that is the right data type. And I have GID, group ID, group ID, there we go. And that should fill out the object. So let's see what we get. Boom, look at that. A beautiful JSON string. So one of the things I think I can do here, based on Goland, is some JSON file.json. Yeah, look at that, color coding already. So let's see if I can do code. Reformat code. Yeah, okay. So that's a cool little trick in Goland where you can reformat your JSON. And I can look at what I just printed out. So my user ID is 216, homedir, username, name. So I want to do something real quick, just kind of off the cuff here. Change username Linux. I don't want to do that. I just want to change. How do I change my username? Oh, there we go. So if I do sudo usermod new, oh, let's go with Adron Hall, and the old one is adron, right? Oh yeah, that's, so I gotta do that? Oh, not username. Change user name on Linux. Oh, I bet I can just do some silly, lazy stuff like this. Oh, geez, where is all this stuff? Users. Oh, there's Adron. Let's call myself that. Oh, I probably need to unlock it. So there's full name and then username. So full name is name in that object that's coming back. So I don't know if this is full name. I guess, yeah, my username I can't change actually without fighting with it. But I don't want to do that. I want this. So that should work, right? Okay, let's see what we get now. Boom. Ah, see, now I'm Adron Hall. So using my full name. Hell yeah. Made some real progress here now. Let's go back here. And let's look at user information. Let's flip this sucker around. Oh, come on. User information. There we go. I think that's the next example they're trying to point out here. Yeah, so they're basically doing the same thing, putting the same stuff in. And then remember, this is what we have now, right? So I'm going to put that in my sample JSON file and then format the code, Control-Alt-L. And then we're going to actually run the change I just put in. I don't know if you noticed what just happened. So notice this, name, user ID, group ID, homedir, username, group IDs, blah, blah, blah. Notice the casing on all these became specifically the casing that's specified here. Okay, so like now, oh, I didn't do that one. I guess it's still trying to use this damn thing. So do I need to go one-to-one on that? That is a good question. So anyway, let's run it one more time. Yeah, okay, and then let's look at this. How do I do a split file? I'll do that. So new file, JSON file 2.json. Like this. Paste that in there. Control-Alt-L. And there's what we have. So notice the casing on these is different versus these. You'll see that the user ID, group ID, homedir, username, etc. has changed, right? And it looks like some, oh yeah, I misspelled that one. Let's go change that bit of code. Groups, group IDs, group ID. All right. So this one didn't change though, which is interesting. Let's run that again. Why the right name's in there. Control L. Okay, so now we can look at it, pin it back and forth here a little bit better. So everything went lowercase, like I expected it. Including go path down there. But this stayed the same. That is super weird. I guess what happens if we derive something from that. So if I do this, but I say new string, or actually let's just change it. Let's change it to this, right? New var, in var. We'll just call it in var, like that. And we'll have to reassign it appropriately. M var. See if that maps accordingly. I bet it, yep, there it goes. So weird. Okay, so it's not taking, do you see what happened? Me and my leaving double quotes out. So if I did that, and I wrote environment variable, that should fix that. That's what the weird bit was. Let's do this so we can whimsically switch these out. For the example, run that. All right, environment variable, there it is. That's what we were actually expecting, not the other thing, right? Control L. There we go. Okay. So that wraps that up. I think we covered the bases on doing some basic JSON formatting and schema creation and all that kind of jazz. But there is more that we're going to want to do. I'm going to take this sample though and actually put it somewhere where I can write it up for everybody. So we'll go in here and let's try to experiment with Goland's VCS stuff. So check out from version control, import into version control, create Git repository, share project on GitHub. That's what I want to do. I'm going to go here and then, let's see here. Use it only to acquire GitHub token. Right. So where is this? This is, we're at 227. 10. Setting up GitHub repo for project. All right. So I don't know what my actual. Bear with me while I pull up my thing. Oh yes. Hi. Authentication code. So that's pretty awesome. I was wondering how it would do two-factor in this, or if it would even be enabled to do two-factor. And it must have done that twice because it just shot me to. So share project on remote origin description. I wonder what it's going to name it as. That's interesting. So a sample project showing, what do we do? The Go user object, various values returned, and also how to parse that into JSON and write it into a file, which we didn't actually do, did we? So let's create that repo first. Okay, we don't want this stuff. I should have added a config git ignore first. But anyway, so I'm going to commit that. Then we'll add a .git ignore. It's usually the first thing I do in any project. We're going to say ignore the ID directory. Don't add DS store values. What else? That's pretty much it for this one. And then I'm going to add a readme.md file where eventually, let's see, what do we call this project? I don't even remember. Just some stuff. Oh, it's just in the freaking root. I'm just going to call it Thrashing Code Repo X. I'll get a number or something and set it up later. Oops, I didn't want this. And I can put other stuff in there later. But for now, let's see here, VCS, git. I guess I'm going to add stuff. As you can see, I don't really know how to do this. This is a new experience. I do some basic committing from here, but I never really do much else. So if I want to do a commit, I guess I do commit directory. Okay, yeah, so I want to adding elements to first commit. Reformat code, rearrange code, optimize imports, please. Clean up, yes, and update copyright if it exists. It's one of the great things about Goland is it'll do all that stuff for you. It's pretty awesome. Oh, interesting. I haven't seen this to-do bit. Show all edit filters. Oh, that's cool. So commit and push. We'll push that up. And let's go actually take a look at it. And really, I guess, like, what is this directory even? I don't even know what the directory was called. Oh, yeah, okay, so it literally named it after myself. That seems dumb, but that's cool. So let me actually close this project, and I'm going to do a bit of a tweak from GitHub. Go in, GitHub, don't need a wiki. That doesn't really matter. Issues don't count, nor do projects, so I don't need any of that stuff. Vulnerability alert sounds good. And I don't want a GitHub page, but I do want to also rename this sucker. So we're going to call this Thrashing Code Sample 001. Rename. Maybe I'll need to rename it in the future. I don't know. But that'll work for now. All right. Tweaked around about that. Fiddle with it later. But now that I did that, I can go back to Goland. I'm going to check out from version control. Let's see here. Adron code source GitHub. Yes, that's where I want it from. I put in my Git repo test. Looks good. Awesome. So it's going to put it in this directory. So it'll actually be in the right directory, not in the where I put that last thing what we've been working on, which is, where did I put it? I put it over here in source, and then GitHub, and then Adron, and yeah, it just ended up in here. And this is not where I wanted any of that stuff, because I don't want my freaking directory all polluted up. It's actually going this way. So let's see, code source GitHub Adron. Boom. This all. Yeah, see, it's got freaking Git directory in there. I don't need that. I don't need the .git ignore in there, and I definitely do not need IDE configuration settings in that path, because as Go goes, I need to have this in here like this actually, because it's coming from my Adron account, and this is going to be the project name. Yes, please open it. Cool. You're welcome for downloading that. It's automatically set as a project SDK. Sweet. Love it. All right. So is everything there? There's the ignore file. Here's that collected values thing, which is just going to work like crazy. There's one of our JSON contents. There's the other JSON contents. I don't really need that. Or should I leave it? I'm going to take it out. And then go back in here, and there was one other thing we wanted to do. I'm going to splice it though. Splice in to 34, 40, writing to file. All right, so we got all that stuff spitting out via format.print. And it's basically string resb1. So it prints out the whole JSON result, right? So I could just take that and let's see here, text. I could put it in. So I'm just going to leave this an empty string. And then this is going to be this. Whoops. Okay, minus the double quotes. Like usual things for me. Getting carried away with my double quotes. Here we go. So now if I run it, oh, where'd my configuration? Oh yeah, of course. See, that's the .id directory. So I lost my configuration settings because I nuked them a second ago. Run sample project code. And then here, pick my main file. Make sure there's nothing else in there. Oh yeah, see, it left the other thing. I just want the one file. All right, so apply. Should be good. And run. Whoops, there we go. So what do I get in there? All right, it is a JSON file. So let's actually rename this to something more appropriate, right? JSON. So I'm going to run that. Boom. There we go. And then I'm going to use Goland's Control Alt L. There we go, to reformat it. They have a nice color-coded reformatted thing. I did lose my environment variable because, again, as I talked about really early in this, I need to set it here. But let's see, what is my actual environment variable I'm pulling? I don't even remember. There it is. And then go path. Go path should be set, right? Yeah, because it's being set in the editor as a system value, and this is a user environment variable value. The user based and created environment variable created when Goland builds and runs the application file. Boom. Apply. Okay. Now you'll notice the one gotcha we still have. Okay, ran that. Let's go look in here. Oh, look at that. See, now we got double JSON. So this first JSON part I'm going to wipe out. Boom. Notice the empty environment variable file, and now we have the environment variable file that Goland puts together for us. All right, so that's cool. Got us a JSON file. So let's see, what do I need to do? What I need to do is read in the file, take the contents. Let's see, so if in this situation it says if it doesn't exist, it creates it, puts content in. But if it does exist, it needs to open the file, take the contents, we'll do whatever we need to it. And then it doesn't need appended, it needs written, is what it actually needs. So I guess we could change this to just say, instead of append, just write the file content. So let's say Goland, read in file contents. Reading files. Here we go. All right. So dat error. Perhaps the most basic file reading task is slurping a file's entire contents into memory. Notice, slurp. You often want more control over how and what parts are read. For these tasks, start by opening a file to obtain the value. So what we want to do is this here. So this is creates it if it doesn't exist, then writes the contents in, or appends the contents, I should say. So what we're going to do is we're actually still going to append it, okay? But, or no, we're not going to append it. We don't want to append. We really do just want to write it. So let's rethink this. This is going to say, here we go. So what I need to do is not open the file, just take whatever is being set. No, I do need to read it in. So let's appropriately do this. There we go. Open. File name. There we go. Open file name. Let's just open it. Yep. Check for error. Okay, and then read at least new reader. All right, so what we'll do here is I'm going to add a to-do read in file and marshal the JSON values into an appropriate structure. So like basically we're assuming that the value in the file is going to be something that we can marshal in, right? So we're going to open that file, marshal it, and then after that, make changes to structure, then accordingly write file contents back as the new file. So really, let's see here, we don't want to append. Create, I think, is what we want to do. Oh, only. Okay, let's hear. So this is OS open file. Oh, I guess. So this is open file. This is open file name, just open the file. And this is write string. Check for that. Okay, so that appends it. And this will not append it, right? So let's see if that happens. So if it doesn't append it, we'll put in, this is the start. So that would be like our existing stuff. And in this situation, there's already something in there. Declared not used. Oh yeah, of course it's declared not used. F dot. Let's do name. And we'll do to defer f dot close. Does that give us two of them? Sort of. So now it won't append. It's only going to create. So we'll have to, so this checks to see if it exists. And then if it exists, it'll open it. Then we can pull the changes here, read in all the changes, make the changes, and then spit it back out. Accordingly, this will prove out that this is the right flow. So let's see here. So far, Okay, it's written an object out here. So wait, so no file should exist. So it should say, all right, text file content, blah, and then write that file. Let's stop here with the debug. Or no, let's stop here with the debug. And then append file will do this. Oh, okay, so that should be correct. Let's do that then. Debug, run, executes to there. Oh yeah, so it hasn't actually appended the file. I mean, closed the file. So, but it created it. If we look at text file content, alpha is just the stupid byte data. Okay, right. And then when it appends the file, or it should say write file contents. So I think what I could do is not even provide the content, right? So if if it says write file and this down here does write string, okay, so let's change the name. Write file contents, write file contents. Okay. File name. Oh yeah, so if it's new, should take it and write it. Here we want to actually munge it based on whatever it is beforehand. So let's run that. All right, looks good. The JSON values are all hunky-dory, right? Yep, beautiful. Okay. So now, Golang, read in file and unmarshall JSON. Let's see what this example says. All right, there's the JSON they're doing. Oh, we should rename it like this. That's a good idea. So let's actually call this the. Oops. Let's use the refactoring again of Goland. Refactor, rename. Shift F6 for myself for future reference. We'll call this the JSON file. Boom. Because we've renamed it too. It is the JSON file, right? OS open, da 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 da. And then we did that already. We already did that. And JSON close. Okay. So now we want to parse this sucker. We have our JSON structs written out already, so now we want to unmarshal this sucker. Once we've used this to pull it into memory, we have to convert it to a byte array with read all. Yes. All right, so that's that checked. For close. All right, we don't need this. This is where we're doing this. Unused variable, and we'll just want to do, oh, there we go, so users, we're going to do that, and then where'd my method go, or my function, whatever, user information, put user information in here, and that should give us a nice big old monster object and everything. Rest would be. Let's actually do the alt. What did it say? Alt or no function 6. No, that wasn't what it is. Oh, Shift F6. This is going to be a user information like that. Okay. That object is lowercase. Oh, wait, res1b. Okay, so that builds it. That marshals it. And that's, okay, yeah, the result. So I'm gonna call this working user information. And this is gonna be the resulting user information. Sounds wonderful. So I don't really want to print it out now because I already know what it's going to look like. And I come down here, and that's parsing it to write it into the file contents. Here, I need to take that and JSON unmarshall into making changes of changing user information on right. And then you can pull out this crap. Also, it should do. Oh, that's kind of a weird way to do that, but okay. So actually, let's go with this. We'll go with. I need a new user information. Come down here, go var. It's user information. I'm gonna actually change this to refactor, rename, user information. That seems like a more appropriate casing for that. Even though I could be wrong, I'm not super familiar with this freaking Go casing yet. All right, then okay, so we're reading it in. It reads it all in. That gives us the variable, which I'll actually put right here. Seems to make more sense. And then it's unmarshalled. So then we have user information. Let's actually do this. We'll call it what I was starting to, changing user information. So this has all the stuff. Okay, names. We'll call this changed to Adron Hall now. Okay, that's a big old weird name, but you get the idea. It's going to prove out that it's changed. So then we need to basically, we need to do this again so that we can write the contents. So kind of like this. We'll call it new user information. We'll say new user information. All right. Is that going to work? That's a good question. I'm going to debug to here. So stop my execution. Checking for my other debug. Oh yeah, and we'll also get rid of this one. I don't really want to mess with that one since I have this nicely formatted one. All right, going back down here, execute to that debug point. So that has happened. Where are we at? So we got this. You can see everything. And there's my name. Now let's continue. Oh shit, just ran it twice. Yeah, okay, and then boom. Compilation finish with Xcode 1. That's not what I wanted. All right, let's get to here. All right, stop all. Oh yeah, see it's, okay, there we go. So it gets to here without breaking. And then started a second one again. Just run the damn thing. There we go. Doesn't look like my change is getting in there. Or is it? Oh, created when Goland builds and runs the application file. What in the hell is that? Okay, so that's delete this one. So that'll run, if I run it once right now, it'll just get the initial stuff written in. Boom. That should be exactly what we suspect here. Yep, adron hall, everything else. So now it's going to do this else step. So it should come into here, open the JSON file, take changing user information, unmarshal it into that, and then I should be able to do changing information dot name equals this, and then oh whoops, do that, remarshal it into the new user information, and then that should work. Let's see what happens. Haha, it did. So now we can make all the changes to the object, like right here. Like I could change something else in it, you know, changing user information dot go path equals whatever I want it to be, something new, and then that's going to show up in the file since it exists. It's going to open it, read it into memory, make the changing to that object in memory, marshal it back to a JSON object, put it back in via the string in here. Oh, but it looks like something's messing up. Viable created when Goland builds and runs the application file. Huh. That's weird. So here, let's delete that again and see what happens. Boom. So this first execution creates it, right? And everything looks great, right? Yeah, okay. Let's just leave it back that way again. And then we're going to run again, and it should make the changes, which it appears to have done. Let's actually make some more changes now. Changed to Adron Benjamin Hall. All right. Where is the Goland? All right. In our file, I formatted it, so maybe that was what changed or broke something. So I'm gonna run it again. Boom. Ah, it has that damn. So it keeps trying to pin that thing to the bottom there somewhere. Environment variable, environment variable. But it did change this stuff correctly, right? Home directory, and then go path is, where's the Goland? So those values are changed. Let's see if it does. Oh yeah, that's really weird. So that's the file. Let's change my name back here. Yeah, so change my name back. It's making the changes, but it's leaving all this extra shit attached to the tail end of it. Oh, and it wiped out my go path variables. So if it just stays one line, everything seems to be fine. Which is weird, because if I do this, it's still a JSON object. But it, yep, there it goes. It starts cutting off stuff. Huh. So that is going to be a mystery for next session. Right now, I am going to wrap this session up. And on that note, cheerio crew.